Hi, I'm Bob Trask. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining this weekly reset. Today, we're going to talk about something that sounds a little bit like so what, but it's pretty doggone important. I mean, it possibly is the most important part of life, and that's joy. Now, when you think about joy, oftentimes we think that's happiness. We think it's the same thing as happiness, but joy is not happiness, and happiness is not joy. Most of us make that mistake. Most of us. Happiness is a temporary emotion. And that's the opposite of sadness, isn't it? Happiness, sadness. Joy is very different. Joy can be present in happiness, and it's also present in sadness. It can even be present in sorrow and in grieving. That sadness, that sorrow, that's an emotion. But joy's not an emotion. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being that's there regardless of our emotions. So just think about that with me for a minute. What if there was a platform inside of me, inside of you, a platform that was like a foundation that is a state of being? It's who we are, and it's a joyful feeling. It's a joyful state of being. Then we go through life and we go through the ups and the downs and we go through the sorrows and the sadnesses and the happinesses and the oh my gosh, I won this, and oh my gosh, this great thing happened, and oh my gosh, this terrible thing happened. But all the time there's this constant state of joy as our foundation, as the platform identity of us as living beings. And when we lose that joy, when we lose that joy, we lose our creative power. We lose our creative ability. And we also lose our ability to manage our lives. Our lives get out of control and we become victims. See, the thing in life is this, is that we're either in action or in reaction. In action or in reaction, in every part of our lives, all day long, everything that we do, we're either in action or reaction. And those of us who are in reaction, boy, I'll tell you, the joy is just not there. The joy is just not there. But if you're in action, then no matter what happens, you have this jar of pickles that you just made, and it's a beautiful jar of pickles, and you have them arranged just so in the jar, and you did the hot bath, and you got them out, and you dropped the jar, and it broke, and it's all over the floor, and there's pickle juice all over the floor, and you've ruined the pickles. What happens right then in your mind? Right then, what happens in your mind? Did you lose your joy? Did you say, Dad, gummit, oh man, and you're angry and you're upset, and that's okay, but did you lose your joy? Did you make some decisions about yourself at that point? So let's roll that back. Let's roll that back to when we were kids. At some point, after you were, because when you were a baby, when you were born, you came into this world, boy, you were solid joy. You were solid joy. You were. And you had to learn not to be in joy. People had to teach you that. And one of the ways that they taught you that is to tell you that you're not okay. Whether that happened at home or in school or whatever, you're not okay. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Just look at you. What's going on with your head? What's wrong with you? It's pretty hard to keep your joy when the officials, the authorities in your life are telling you there's something wrong with you, that you're not okay, that you didn't come into this world whole, perfect, and complete. You came into this world somehow a little bit crippled, a little bit screwed up, so that you're not complete. So uh, if you go, imagine with me for a minute. I don't know if you've walked by a schoolyard during recess recently, um, grammar schoolyard during recess. Man, I'm telling you, the kids, they sound like birds in a tree. They're just the the the, the music of that playground is just constant, yelling, crying, and laughing, crying out to each other. It's just the noise is just constant. And those kids are all in joy. They're in joy. They're not in happiness. They're in joy. Their joy is exuberant and it's just spilling out of them constantly. They're laughing and they're crying out to each other, and it's just constant, and the noise is amazing and it's beautiful. Now, 60 kids in that play yard. Now let's replace that with 60 adults. And what do you hear? See, that's my point. That's my point. There's no way that we adults would exuberate our feelings like that. Would yell and holler and laugh and kid each other. No way. We're reserved. What happened to our joy? Well, it's still there, but now it's hidden inside. It's hidden inside because it's not okay for us to be goofy as adults. It's not okay for us to laugh as adults. It's no, not, I mean, we can laugh at a joke or at something funny that happens, but to just laugh from our hearts because we're joy. But see, that joy is our birthright. It's our birthright. It's who we are. It's our identity, our home base. Eckhart Tolle, who's probably one of the greatest spiritual minds around today, said joy is uncaused and it arises from within as the joy of being. It's an essential part of the inner state of peace, the state that has been called the peace of God. It is your natural state, not one you need to work hard for or struggle to attain. He's so right. When we're born, we're in joy, the state of being that gives us each a unique self-identity, a unity. An infant is pure joy, even while crying or asleep. Again, joy's not happiness. A baby may not be happy, and yet that platform of oneness with consciousness, that oneness with the conscious universe, with what some people call God, that oneness with all is not yet dissolved. Some people even say that the soft spot in a baby's head is the umbilical that connects them to consciousness. And at that point, they're still connected. And if you've watched my videos or followed my work, you'll know that I see consciousness as the intelligent, creative presence in all universes. Consciousness. Capitalize that C, please. Consciousness, the intelligent, creative presence in all universes, and we incarnate out of that presence and carry it with us. And it's pure energy. It's pure energy, which is joy. Which is joy. That's the power of the universe. Could also be called love. Same thing. So I want you to just stay with me a little bit here and see if you can look inside yourself and see where that joy lives. I don't mean happiness. I mean a foundation that is so secure, so strong, so smileable that it will always be there. It has always been there. It will always be there. Doesn't make any difference what happens. That's always there. It's very easy to get lost here because joy is not happiness. One can be happy and not be in joy. One can be joyful and not happy. Happiness is a temporary emotion. It depends on circumstances. Joy is who we are. Deepak Chopra said, being joyful is our natural state of being. So see, all these experts all know that. And I know that they all try to teach that, but it's 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 hard for you to, and it's hard for me to recap that joy if we lost it. So what we have to do is choose joy, choose it, choose it, choose it. No matter what we're doing, look inside, like something, there's something that you have to do, and it's not something you want to do, something you dread doing, but you have to do that. Do you go out of state of joy to do that, or can you carry joy with you into that task? It's our birthright. It's our birthright. It's our platform. It's a foundation of who we are. And without it, we're lost. With it, we can go through anything. The darkest night, the strongest storm will be there. We'll be there, and we'll be there with bells on. It's our birthright. Imagine with me for a minute, a perfect person is born, perfect, unlike any other creature in eternity. They mature as themselves, unfolding their wings year by year and becoming who they came here to be. Staying in joy, keeping that platform alive. This person is like a baby deer growing up to its fullness without ever having to change its nature. And yet, for its entire life, it'll fit perfectly into this environment, into the forest, into the world, into society. And so it is with all creatures everywhere, with the exception of us humans. We have the ability to think and to think about thinking, and therein lays our individual genius, but it also can be our problem. But we're herd animals. We Americans, we Europeans, we Asians, we're herd animals. We need each other. And it's so easy to have our identities be reformatted by society's rules on how to think. Here's how you're supposed to think. Here's how you're supposed to talk. Here's how you're supposed to stand and walk and talk and dress, and even how you're supposed to eat. You have to ask yourself, who am I? What do I have to give up to be accepted? What part of my basic foundation of who I am do I have to give up to be accepted? Let's go back right now. Let's go back to being little kids. We weren't lost when we were little kids. Let's go back to being little kids. See, that little kid, I promise you, is still alive inside of you. She is still alive. He is still alive inside of you. You just look the other way. Because you're an important adult, you just look the other way. You don't want to look at that little child. But let that little kid come alive. Let that little kid laugh and dance and sing and be crazy and be wonderful. That's your joy. And if we don't have joy, if we don't choose joy, then what do? Then we find surrogates for joy. We we find other things that we can do that gives us temporary happiness, so that that emptiness inside of us feels like it's getting filled, at least temporarily. And those surrogates for joy, they're not joy. Thomas Aquinas, one of the great spiritual minds in all history, said, "Man cannot live without joy." Therefore, when he's deprived of true spiritual joys, it's necessary that he become addicted to carnal pleasures. What he means by carnal pleasures are pleasures of the body, of sexual pleasures, or booze, or drugs, or even television, or overeating, or over drinking, or over something, but anything to hide that loss inside of us. Imagine that little kid. Imagine somebody came into the classroom and this kid's 7 years old, and somebody said that your name and called you and said, "Hereby, from this day forward, you shall have no joy." Bam! And then a darkness falls over you. Then you have to start making up for that. But your joy is who you are. That's who you are. It's your birthright. It's your state of being. It balances you. It makes you feel whole. Otherwise, we start getting prettier, faster cars or different furniture or more stylish clothes or more elaborate vacations or overeating or over drinking or drugging or whatever. And because we've lost that self identity of joy and we get lost in a world that doesn't know who we are. Now, John, be sure you get your hair cut just right and your beard either shaved or cut just right. And certainly you're not going to wear that shirt out in public. Don't leave this house until you polish those shoes. You got a C in history? Is that who you are now? A C student? Miss Mrs. McFadden said she saw you sitting with a homeless person today. Don't you know there are diseases? What's wrong with you? Those kinds of conversations are going on constantly. Large advertising firms know that we've lost our identities. They know that. They they that's how they make a living. They hire psychologists who know we're hurting and they understand how we're hurting. And they have ways to fill that vacancy that's inside of us. So they spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to convince us of how they can fill that emptiness inside of us. They entice us with false claims of belonging. They show a happy family. Oh, God, I wish I had a happy family. But here's a mom and dad and two kids, and they are so happy. And they're loving each other. They're driving along a mountain road in this automobile that they're trying to sell us. And there's an eagle flying overhead and a beautiful lake off to the left. And maybe they'll park and sit around a campfire in the evening or stay in a beautiful lodge. Or they'll come to the edge of a cliff and they'll all get out and they'll look out over this vast vista of joy and love and beauty. And they'll be together and they'll be loving each other. And they want you to buy the car. That scene has nothing to do with the car. Nothing to do with the car. So they do the same thing with medicines. Buy this medicine. Buy this elaborate vacation package. Buy this health insurance. If you do, your balance will be restored and you'll have joy, the joy you see in the people in our ads. After all, just look at them. Look at this family. Aren't they in joy? Aren't they balanced? Isn't it time for you to feel this joy? Do you notice how often advertisers use nature pictures to capture our hearts? It's a shell game. It's the old bait and switch scam. It's legal and it's brainwashing us. They use nature because that's who we are. And when we lose or ignore the beauty around us in nature, we lose ourselves. Then we go to the casinos of life to find happiness. C.S. Lewis said, I wonder sometimes whether all pleasures are not substitutes for joy. So all the experts, all the great minds, all knew and all still know that in fact joy is our foundation. T.L.D. Chardin, one of the great minds ever, one of my heroes, said joy is the only evidence of God. Joy, the only evidence of God. It's not less important than getting more money or less important than getting a better car, less important than something else. It is all important. It is the foundation. It is our personal power. It is who we are. What if by starting today you could reclaim yourself and become joy? We were to reduce that, very soon we'd no longer need substitutes. Joy would again become our permanent everyday life. It's sleeping inside of us right now. Let's wake it up. Recently, there was a study from Cornell of Gen Z people who were depressed. A number of them were given $400 to use to benefit whatever mattered to them most, community, family, or even themselves, didn't make any difference. The result is that and they gave this to hundreds and hundreds of people. The result is that those who used the money to benefit others had reawakened their true selves. They were happier and more positive about life. This indicates that we can regain our joy by being contributors to others. There's millions of us in all generations waking up now, right now. Every month, there's more of us waking up. So let's recreate that platform of joy in our lives. If you look at the problems of the world today, excuse me, the political problems, the wars that are going on, the starvation, the oppressions all over the world, isn't all of that a lack of joy? Would people be punishing each other and oppressing each other and subjugating each other to all kinds of terrors if they had joy in their hearts? Would that possibly even be happening? And what can I do? And what can you do? What we can do is we can be joy. We can choose joy and we can be joy. And we can make sure that no matter what happens in today's life, I will be joy. I will be joy. I may get upset, I may get angry, I may laugh, I may be happy, but always underneath me will be that joy. With a little effort, just a small amount of effort, we can recover ourselves. There are 3 easy steps to recovering that joy. Easy steps. Number 1 is love. Love, to give to somebody without expecting anything back. So if we're wondering what love is, that's what it is. To give to somebody without expecting anything back. Small things, even like walking down the aisle in a grocery store and saying to somebody, "Hi, how are you today?" And smile. And they grumpily look over at you and wonder, "What the hell are you talking to me for?" But you smile, they see your smile and they see your caring, and it touches something inside of them. It perhaps relights that candle of joy inside of them. How many times can you do that in a day? How many times can you smile at somebody and say, "I just wanted to tell you I really like that shirt," or "Boy, you look nice today," or something, just anything to pick them up? That's love. That's love. To pick up the phone and call that person that you haven't talked to and say, "Just been thinking about you and just wanted you to know I love you." That's love. To give that out today. And then secondly, and boy, this is important. 3 steps here to getting back that joy, to waking that joy up. Here's the second one. Boy, this is important. Gratitude. Because gratitude is also a state of being. See, gratitude's not thankfulness. Thankfulness is one thing. Gratitude is something entirely different. Gratitude means just my sense of being is I just know that I am one with the universe. And I feel so enriched by that. And I'm so grateful for that. Gratitude. Gratitude to other people, gratitude for other people, gratitude for other people in your life, and letting them know that. And then third, please meditate. 1, love. 2, gratitude. 3, please meditate. Don't say to me, "I can't meditate. It takes too much time. I don't have time." Don't say to me, "It's so hard. I tried." Just close your eyes and breathe through your nose and just relax. And if something doesn't work, you think the way it should in meditation, let it go. So you sit there and there's these thoughts that keep bouncing across the middle of your mind. It's okay. Just keep breathing and pay attention to your breathing. And if those thoughts come, so what? Just meditate. Don't make meditation this thing that has to be a certain way. It means closing your eyes, breathing quietly through your nose, watching your breath, just watching your breath and letting whatever happens happen. and do that for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And you can go online, Bob Trask, um, um, 5 minute weekly meditations. Go to YouTube, they're on there. Every week you can have 5 minute meditation and I'll guide you through meditation. So the three things: love, give yourself away, gratitude, be grateful for all that we have in this life, and meditate. Do those three things, and I promise you, joy will come back alive. Eleanor Ducey said, and this is so beautiful, if the sight of blue skies fills you with joy, if a blade of grass springing up in the fields has the power to move you, if the simple things of nature have a message that you understand, rejoice, for your soul is alive. And finally, I want to quote Thomas Merton, who said, "You were created for joy." And if you don't know the difference between pleasure and joy, then you've not yet begun to live. And Shauna Nyquist said, "I want a life that sizzles and pops and makes me laugh out loud. I don't want to get to the end or even to tomorrow even and realize that my life is just a collection of meetings and pop cans and errands and receipts and dirty dishes. I want to eat cold tangerines and sing out loud in the car with the windows open and wear pink shoes and stay up all night laughing and paint my walls the exact color of the sky right now. I want to sleep hard on white, clean sheets and throw parties and eat ripe tomatoes and read books so good they make me jump up and down. I want my everyday to be a God belly laugh, glad that He gave life to someone who loves the gift." That's joy. That's joy. And it's waiting. It's waiting for you and me to be the kids in the play yard when you walk by and hear all of those yelling and screeching and hollering and laughing. Let's be that kid. Let's bring that kid back alive. Let's be joy today. Let's choose joy. Thank you. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate you taking your time to come and join me. And please know that I'm here for you every week. Bring friends to these sites, to Bob Trask weekly resets. And if you can stop by bobtrask.com and leave a donation, oh boy, will I ever appreciate that. It'll help me keep this work alive. Thank you.